Today I want to go over with you how you can effectively control mosquitoes in your yard. I've watched lots of videos to learn myself, and more importantly, I tested this myself this summer. We're in 2024 and mosquitoes are awful in our yard. Were awful in our yard. So the principle is pretty simple. What you're going to be doing is giving them spots to lay their eggs, and then you're going to kill that population. So for the first 10 days of what you're doing, you will have mosquitoes. But after that life cycle, because an adult mosquito lives anywhere between 7 and 10 days, you're going to eradicate all the generations after that. And what you're basically going to need are a couple of containers that can hold some water. I prefer 5-gallon buckets to give like a nice deep protected area because mosquitoes like to lay their eggs in really still water. And we're going to use a method kind of called the 4 corners, or at least I've heard it called the 4 corners. I didn't set that up in our yard. I'm using kind of like the 5 spots, the 3 spots. Doesn't necessarily have to be corners, but that was just a clever name to get you to remember what it is. So you're going to need a couple of containers, and you're going to need this great product. You can find it in either mosquito bits, mosquito dunks, mosquito whatever. I'm not sponsored by this product at all. I'm just telling you what worked for us in our garden because it was pretty amazing. We're on week 3, and I've noticed literally a 90% reduction of mosquitoes. And the reason you're not going to get 100% efficacy is because your neighbors and the neighborhood, they're still going to have some areas, whether they were in sprinklers or irrigation, where water puddles even just a little bit. And mosquitoes will lay eggs there, hatch them out, and then they're going to fly into your yard. But what you're going to do is reduce the amount of area in your yard that's a breeding ground, because mosquitoes, we have a pretty good fence. Mosquitoes, yeah, they'll fly in, but if mosquitoes are hatched in the yard, man, are they really going to stay? So this has been a lifesaver. So if you don't have this mosquito bits or mosquito dunks, you're just looking for Bacillus thuringiensis, and it's a certain subspecies that they use for mosquito control. So the principle is going to be pretty easy. You're going to make a container with water that's mosquito friendly. They're going to be like, man, I want to go lay my eggs in that. So all the females are going to gravitate towards this, but you're going to make it where all those larvae die. So let's get to it. Fill each bucket with about 1 to 2 gallons of water. Find some grass clippings, leaves, or other lightweight organic material that can float on the top of the water surface. Just a handful will do the trick. This will give the mosquitoes the desired protection and the calm water they want in which to lay their eggs. Following the package direction, throw in enough bits for the amount of water you added. Then take each container to a spot in the yard. 4 corners is clever because you remember where they are, but literally they can be any shaded area where the mosquitoes like to congregate. Our yard is small at about 7,000 square feet, minus the house and driveway. We got a lot of relief with just 1 container, but we're also doing 4 containers total. 3 in the backyard, which is the majority of the living space, and 1 in the front yard. The container in the front yard even has plants in it, which the mosquitoes love, so that takes the place of the grass. It does not affect the rooted cuttings at all. This was enough for the front yard. Make sure to go through the rest of your yard and look for standing water anywhere, and I mean anywhere. We have bromeliads, so we added some to the bromeliads. There's water at the bottom of our plant water trays, so we added some there. Look for any old container, even tires, or anything that could hold just even a smaller amount of water than you think is possible. If there's water in there, put some bits in there. We have greenhouses, so we made sure to use it in the greenhouses as well. Plus, using it in there will help control fungus gnats. So now in our yard, which is total about 7,500 square feet, but then the house takes up some. So really the yard's probably 5,000 square feet, 6,000 square feet. And a lot of that has shade for a lot of the day and sun a lot of the day. So you've put the buckets of water in the low wind, shady spots of the yard, and you let the mosquitoes go to it. And about 10 days from now, you're going to notice that all of a sudden you go outside And even though there are 1 or 2 things biting you, there's no longer like 50 on your leg. It's amazing. We were not able to go outside and sit on our property at all because we would look down and mosquitoes would just be everywhere. So the reason I'm touting this is it did work in our yard. One was effective in eliminating the majority of mosquitoes. But just to be safe, we added all those extra now to see if we can get even better coverage. And I'm excited. This is something you should try. All right, thanks for watching.